Someone had been breaking into my apartment for months, and the worst part, I trusted the person responsible. I'm 24 years old and I live alone. A few months ago, I started noticing weird things. A tea first. It was small. A bottle moved. A charger in a different place. Food disappearing faster than normal. I kept telling myself I was imagining it. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was just paranoid. But then things got worse. One day I came home from work and noticed that my bedroom door was slightly open. I always close it. Always. That immediately felt wrong. I checked the apartment. Nothing seemed missing. Nothing looked damaged, but I couldn't shake the feeling that someone had been inside. For the next few weeks, strange things kept happening. Cash disappeared from my desk. Snacks vanished. Items changed places. At one point, one of my jackets completely disappeared for 3 days, then suddenly reappeared. I started feeling uncomfortable in my own apartment. I barely slept. I double-checked the locks every night. I even asked my landlord if someone had access to my unit. He said no. Then one night I came home earlier than usual, and I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The bathroom light was on. I knew for a fact I had turned it off before leaving. That's when I decided enough was enough. The next day I bought a small security camera. I hid it in my living room. Then I went to work. Honestly, I expected nothing. I thought the footage would prove I was overthinking everything. I was wrong, very wrong. When I got home that evening, I immediately checked the camera footage. First, nothing happened. Then around 1:17 p.m., the front door opened. My heart started racing. Someone walked inside. They had a key. Not only that, they walked in like they owned the place. No hesitation. No fear. No rush. Like they'd done it before. Then I finally saw their face, and I completely froze because the person entering my apartment wasn't a stranger. It was my girlfriend. First, I was confused. She already had a key. Why would she sneak around while I was at work? Then things got even weirder. She wasn't alone. A few seconds later, another person walked in behind her. A guy. Someone I'd never seen before. The two of them started laughing, talking, walking around my apartment, opening cabinets, checking drawers, looking through my personal stuff. At this point, my hands were literally shaking. Then they walked into my bedroom and disappeared from view for almost an hour. I just sat there staring at the screen, completely speechless. When they finally came back into view, the guy was wearing one of my hoodies, my hoodie. Then the two of them left together. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Part of me wanted to think there was some explanation, maybe a friend, maybe a misunderstanding, maybe something innocent, but deep down, I already knew. The next day I didn't say anything. I acted completely normal. When my girlfriend came over that evening, I smiled. I asked her how her day was, and then I asked a simple question. Did you stop by my apartment yesterday? She immediately said no, without hesitation. No confusion. No thinking. Just no, and that's when I realized who had been stealing from me. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the missing food. It wasn't about the hoodie. It was the lying. She looked me directly in the eyes and lied. So I opened my laptop, turned the screen toward her, and played the footage. I've never seen someone's face change so fast. She instantly went pale. For a few seconds she didn't say anything. Then she started crying, then apologizing, then blaming stress, then blaming alcohol, then blaming the relationship. Every excuse you can imagine. But it was over. I asked her to leave, and honestly, the hardest part wasn't losing the relationship. The hardest part was realizing that for months, The person making me feel unsafe in my own home was the same person telling me she loved me.